Hello there, my friend. Welcome back to the Lucky Titan podcast. I am so stoked to be back here with you guys. It's been a while since I've recorded an episode, and I wanted to hop on here and share a little bit of insight into the behind the scenes of the Lucky Titan, because there's been a lot of movement, and a lot of you have been asking me, Josh, where's the content? And I want to let you know the hiatus is over. We took a little 4-month hiatus simply because we wanted to do some huge changes. I'm very, very excited about them because today, as you're listening to this episode, they're all going live. So as most of you know, our company, Pantheon.fm, is actually what we've been using this show as almost a marketing and a sales tool to grow our own business. And for those of you who don't know, Pantheon.fm is actually a community where we build podcasts. So we've launched over 150 top 1% podcasts in the last year. And our entire goal is to help B2B entrepreneurs to be able to get their messages and their missions and their values out to the world. So what we've been doing over the last 6 months to a year is actually we've been building out our own network. Now, some of you have been a part of that. Many of the people who are in the community are our loyal listeners. So thank you so much. Big shout out to you guys because you're all rock stars. Love every person in our community. But I wanted to give you guys some insight on what's going to be changing here on the show. And then also so much more coming your way. So here's the first thing. Number one, as you can see, we've got a new studio. If you're watching this on video, we've got a new studio and we've got a whole new set of hosts. So the Lucky Titan podcast is no longer just going to be one show. We've actually been acquiring talent and finding some really incredible people to come host other shows around other topics. All of them are going to be branded under the Lucky Titan. We'll be reaching out to you guys and having you see some of these other shows because they are incredible, but they're all tailored to specific things. For example, we have one that's built around lifestyles, the lifestyles of successful entrepreneurs. They're going to deep dive into what an entrepreneurial lifestyle looks like for somebody who's very, very successful. Then we have the marketing show. We have, what are some of the other ones? Oh yeah, we've got Inspire, which is going to be a really fun one around helping people to get inspired to be more leadership driven. And we have a whole other show about leadership. So we're building 10 shows out around the Lucky Titan podcast to build an entire network of shows to bring you the best content in the B2B sector. So that's number one. That's one of the biggest changes. I'm very excited to roll that out to all of you. But then additionally, part of us coming here on the show today and part of me coming here is I want to let you all know what's coming down the pipeline. So we are actually officially going to be shifting our platform over to YouTube. Now, many of you who are podcasters, you're saying, oh yeah, this is awesome. I'm so excited for this. And some of you might be saying, whoa, wait, are you going off iTunes and Spotify or wherever I'm listening? The answer is no. We're still going to stay on all of the platforms, but we're actually going to start focusing on the video podcasts because the truth is that right now, YouTube has become the number one most important platform for audience growth in the podcasting space. They've actually been the number one most listened to platform for the last few months when it comes to podcasting. They're beating out iTunes and Spotify. And that's kind of allowed us to shift our momentum and our focus over to this platform. And what's been great about it is that the last 4 months, we've been actually going through and retooling and building up a bunch of content so that we can start to optimize for that platform. Now, let's talk about this show. This is the Lucky Titan OG, right? This is the one that you guys have been here with us for years. We've been doing this show now, I think, since 2019. And some of you might have been on some of my other podcasts and followed us over here. So we've been doing this almost 10 years. And as part of this kind of 10-year anniversary, I wanted to step out here and just bring people into our world and help them understand what I'm really about, what I'm trying to do. So the Lucky Titan podcast in and of itself is built completely around and tailored to audience growth. I'm a marketer by trade. I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I can tell you guys that I completely love opportunities. I love business. I love growth and creation, everything else. And I wanted to just use this show as a way to be able to not only interview people who've got that growth, but I also want to give back to you now. It's been a long journey. We've had a lot of ups and downs. We've really tried everything under the sun. But what I'm going to be doing here on the Lucky Titan is that I'm actually going to be focusing all of my efforts on helping you to grow and monetize your own audience. So the people I'm interviewing, the times when I hop in and do my own little solo casts like this, I'm going to be sharing personal experience, but I'm also going to be sharing with you how-tos and growth strategies for growing an audience. We've built audiences on email lists, social media platforms, podcasts. We've done it for clients. We've done it for ourselves. And I can honestly tell you that there are just some specific, very simple step-by-step things that you can be doing to be able to be a successful podcaster and a successful audience owner. And I'm going to just kind of put that all down into one thing, which the word that I like to use is Titan. Okay. There's a reason we call this the Lucky Titan. And it's because I believe that there's an evolution of people where we as entrepreneurs, we start out as a creator. We're very excited. We're out there kind of haphazardly throwing things out. And then we all of a sudden get called to a specific direction. All of a sudden you find out that people really want you and need you in one area. And this is what's interesting for me. I did not start out in the podcasting space. The podcast was just part of our marketing stack. But interestingly enough, everybody started asking me, Josh, like, what are you doing? How are you guys becoming so successful with the show? We hit top 10 on iTunes for like 3 weeks. It was one of the coolest moments ever. And I was so excited about that growth. But then everybody came out of the woodwork and said, how are you doing this? And it was so funny because it pulled me into the podcasting sector. And now I've become a complete addict and I'm trying to become the number one best authority in this space. But I can tell you guys, I had a realization over the holiday season. I realized that I need to be better at being the number one voice in this space and really providing you with the best value, best content out there. So that's my commitment to you today. I mean, if you're here listening to this show, I'm here to provide you the best content for growing a successful podcast. Now, we're going to talk in terms of audience, but I'm going to specifically talk towards podcasting because I believe it's the number one vehicle for growing your own reach, your own show, and everything else for you to scale. And what I can tell you is that when you start as a creator and you're haphazardly posting content, trying all these different things, you get called to become a thought leader. That's what we consider it. So we call it a thought leader. So a thought leader is somebody who all of a sudden they've stepped into a role like I was. I was pulled into a role and we had to become the best in that space. That's what a thought leader is. And I want you to think about the term thought leader here for a second, and then we'll move on because we go from creator to thought leader to titan, just for those of you who are kind of my organized people and who want to say, Josh, what are the 3 steps? The second step being thought leader, I want you to be realizing that a thought leader, if you dissect that word, it actually is a leader of thought or a leader in thought. And if you think about it that way and you start to say, oh, how do I lead in thought? It doesn't mean you have to be the most experienced, best person out there. It means you need to be the one out there looking and researching and diving and being the one who's most obsessed with that topic. That's what makes you a thought leader. And what's really interesting, we found for ourselves that that's typically where we find people. Our clients are typically in that thought leader phase where they've been called to an industry and they're like, holy crap, this is what I have to do. I mean, everybody's wanting me to do this and they want to know what I know about this. And so they double down on it. But half the times they get stuck where they don't actually become the best in their industry. And this is the realization I was having is I'm like, I'm pretty dang good. A lot of people know that I'm the podcast guy. They can come to me for podcasting. But what I'm going to be doing with this show is showing not only how I do it, how our clients do it, but I want to show you how to do it yourself, of how to go from thought leader to titan. And I can promise you guys, as you become that quote unquote titan, you're going to find that people will start to gather to you without you even having to go seek for them. So I want to just put that out there for you as a challenge to come listen to this show, come join us, come become a titan. And then I'm going to just throw this invitation out to you as a final point here. Actually, I have 2 final points because I have one really, really exciting piece of news. But as a final point here, we call our community the Pantheon. And the reason we do that is because the Pantheon is actually a gathering of titans, a gathering place for titans. If you want to join us, hop over to pantheon.fm. It's a free community. But in this community, we're going to help you scale your audience, get you on shows, get you out there promoting your offers, get you building shows, helping you to build an audience that actually are the people that you're called to serve. Now, I want to share one final piece of very, very exciting news with all of you. We are taking on our first sponsor. Now, before you go, oh no, an advertiser, that's not what this is about, okay? So I've been looking for a sponsor for quite some time. We've been doing a lot of research trying to find the best companies. And then I had a moment, it's a couple months ago, I sat back and was like, what the heck? I know who I need to have sponsor us. I know who we need to promote because this is a company I've been promoting for years. I highly, highly recommend them to everyone because they're a fantastic company and their name is Repurpose House. So if you go check out repurposehouse.com, if you haven't already heard of them, which would surprise me, go check them out and go use their service. They have such an incredible service for you guys where they basically take one video and they repurpose it into multiple pieces of content. If you pay them enough money, guys, they will actually post it for you, which is worth every single dime. Now, some of you might be going, oh my gosh, Josh, are they competitors of yours? And I say, no, these guys are such a fantastic add-on to what we do because yes, we do repurpose content. We do focus on podcasting and marketing. But what I can tell you is that we take people from thought leader to titan. They take people from creator to thought leader. They'll help you find your audience by simply helping you produce content that's branded to you that looks professional. Now, please don't be that person who comes to them and sends them like a video of yourself on a selfie, you're going around walking or whatever, and it's highly, highly unproduced footage. But if you spoke on stage, or maybe you've done a webinar before that was really high quality, or you've done something that was so, so valuable and really highly produced, you send that to them, they're going to turn that into an incredible piece of content. If you want to step up and become a thought leader, they are the company I would recommend you go leverage. I recommend this to everybody. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them sponsoring the show. And I am so stoked to have them partner with us here on the show. So everybody, so excited for 2023 and beyond. So if you're listening to this in 2030 or whenever you're listening to the show or you're watching it, I can tell you that this is a pivotal moment for us, because you're going to see some big changes, lots of incredible new content, a lot of new people entering your world. You're going to start seeing people, our new hosts coming out, providing really highly valuable content. I want this to be the place where if you're in the B2B sector, this is where you grow B2B audience growth. So this is the place for you. This is the Lucky Titan podcast. I'm so excited to have you all. See you in the next episode.